Faces of Maine celebrates our 5th anniversary episode.
What's going on there, Jarvis? Not much. Good to see you, Bob. Well, of course, we're celebrating our 5th anniversary show, 5th episode, so it's quite the milestone accomplishment for Faces of Maine podcast. It's been quite the successful endeavor. It's a wicked good show, and we've been able to accomplish quite a bit, and I'm really proud of that. Sure has, Bob. It's been a wicked good show. And Jarvis, I want to thank you for participating in reenacting our very first episode by wearing the same outfits that we wore then, and I must say, you stayed quite trim, and you barely aged a day. I'd have to say the same for you guys. You're looking pretty good yourself there, Bob. Yeah, you haven't changed a bit. Well, Jarvis, I saw you had a good spread there on Big Thick Cock last weekend. That's pretty good there, guy. You got that cock pretty nice and thick there. Pretty good shots you got there, I must say. Yeah, put a lot of effort into it, and it came out pretty well, We were pretty pleased with the shoot there. So what else is new with you, Bob? Well, I left Dr. Shard's cult. You feeling all right there, guy, are you? Yeah, sorry about that, Bob. I just had a little bit too much moxie on the way in. Don't worry about it, Bob. We can edit that out. I totally understand. Moxie's a wicked good drink. Happens to the best of us. I've gotten back into my lobstering business for the last couple weeks. Trying to get my head on straight. Things got a little crazy there at the spiritual community, and thought it was time to kind of break away, and things got a bit crazy there at the spiritual community, if you want to call it that, Personally, I'd have to agree with you from the last episode. I do believe it is a cult, but, what are you gonna do, these things can happen, and, resume lobstering and, fishing and whatnot. Yeah, I think that's for the best. I was a little concerned when I heard that he was sleeping with some of the women in the community there. It seemed like he may be taking advantage of some of the women, and, that's not right. We got Stephen King calling in. Stephen?
Hey guys, I just want to call in and say congratulations on the 5th anniversary episode. I'm a huge fan of the show, and a terrific show. It's been a roaring success.
Well, we're proud to have you, Bob.
Really, part of my personal routine is I like to tune into the Faces of Maine podcast while I'm having my coffee. That helps me kind of begin my free writing each day.
Yeah, I've been a big fan of your work for years.
So I really appreciate what you guys do. I can't say it enough. I think this is a wicked good show. I wish there was more shows like this. I wish more people knew about it, and I'll do what I can to spread the word. I'm disappointed by what I find on mainstream TV these days, so a show like yours is really important.
Well, Stephen, that's wicked flattering coming from you, I gotta tell you, bud. Yeah, I've been a big fan of your work for years.
I don't particularly care for that Dr. Shard character that you've had on. I think you could probably do without him.
Yeah.
It's just a pleasure to be on the show. I've watched every episode, and I think there should be more programs like yours. I've shared it with all my literary friends, and I like to tune into Faces of Maine and kind of just relax, and helps me get into my writing each day. I think it's a fabulous program. I could do with a little bit less of that Dr. Shard character. I think he's a little bit of a rascal.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be having him on the program again.
I think Dr. Shard is a rascal. You don't need a guy like that. I don't think he represents our state the way that it should be. But other than that, I think it's been terrific. I like to go down to Big Cock and Gardner myself, hit the 5-footer and play cribbage, just like anybody else. It's part of the tradition of being in this state.
Stephen, it's an honor for you to call in. We really appreciate the words.
I talk on the phone with Jarvis about a couple times a week, and he keeps me apprised of the happenings with the Faces of Maine show. And I just think it's good to have a voice of people like us that give a unique perspective on what it is to be from Maine.
Stephen, that's fucking wicked flattering coming from you, guy. I gotta tell you, Bob, because we're big fans here. Big fucking fans of your work. Jarvis and I are both part of the fan club, so we really appreciate you reciprocating. So, Jarvis, what else is new, Bob? Just went hunting with Crazy Eddie the past few days and had some weird experiences out there in the woods. We were about 3 miles out there in the forest, and I had to relieve myself, do it number 2, and right in the middle of it, I'm squatting down there. I got my toilet paper. I copped a squat behind a large tree, and you're not gonna believe this, but I had a Bigfoot sighting. Friggin' A. See in the distance, a figure coming towards me. Friggin' thing looked like LeBron James. Moved like him. Fully covered in fur. Running straight at me. This fucker was about 8 feet tall. He moved like LeBron James, running through the woods, and friggin' A guy, hadn't heard that. At first he was coming right towards me, but he must have noticed me, maybe smelled what was happening, and immediately turned around and took off running the other way. Friggin' A guy, is that right? Hadn't heard that.
Wow, that's very interesting, Jarvis.
Friggin' thing just started right towards me, and then as soon as he was aware of my presence, he turned around and just took off the other way, took off running. Crazy Eddie said he's seen that before. Of course, I'd never heard of it. Then on the way back, we had to kind of traverse out the same way that the Bigfoot went out, and on the way out, we saw a staircase there. Friggin' fully furnished staircase, beautifully crafted staircase right in the middle of the woods there. There was no other, construction or other, it wasn't a house or anything, and the staircase didn't necessarily lead to anything. Friggin' thing was in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I've actually heard about this. A lot of Mainers have run into this in the woods while they're hunting, and apparently you're supposed to stay away from those. I've heard some stories about that. You wouldn't want to get mixed up in something like that. Apparently those staircases are portals to the supernatural world. It's best just to leave well enough alone. Yeah, that's true. I believe that because I got a pretty ominous feeling, and the closer you get to that thing, the more creepy of a feeling you get. I think that's for the best.
Yeah, I've heard about some of these things happening in the woods. I think I might have to touch on some of these paranormal aspects in some of my next works upcoming. And Jarvis, we'll talk about that further. I don't want to get too much into that here, but it really is a fascinating idea that these things are happening. There's a lot of paranormal activity that gets reported in the woods.
Steven, we'd be honored if you'd do an ad read for us for Big Cock and Gardner. What do you think, bub?
Sure, I'd be glad to. For all your Big Cock needs, go down to Big Cock and Gardner. Use the promo code Steven at bigthickcock.com.
Mr. King, it's a real honor to have you on the program. Anytime you'd like to come back, please let us know.
It's just a pleasure to be on the show.